Hello everyone and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. My name is Monique and this is my second tarot channel here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for your continued love and support here on the channel. For those of you that would like to book a private reading, you can find my email down below in the description box. Just send me an email and I will provide you on more information on booking readings as well as other services with me. For those of you that are new, welcome. You may also want to check out my main tarot channel, Moon Moth Goddess, where I do have a bunch of other pick a card readings posted for you guys into different playlists. So today's pick a card reading, we are doing what do you need to release in order for you to feel more fulfilled? Okay, what do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? We do have 3 crystals here. We have a Carnelian, a Selenite, and we also have a Labradorite. So we're going to add in one of these cards to help you with choosing your pile today. If you do feel drawn to more than one pile, that is perfectly okay. You might have messages that are spread across the piles for today's reading, so go with whatever your intuition is guiding you towards for the reading today. So what do you need to release to feel more fulfilled? And we're going to take a look at the cards in just a second. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? Okay, so let's take a look. Pile 1, we have rock bottom. Okay, rock bottom, number 10, and that is with this Carnelian here. Okay. So pile 2, we have storm fields, and that is with this Selenite. And then pile number 3, we have the Golden Palace, and that is with this Labradorite here for pile 3. Okay, so go ahead, take your time, pause the video if you need to see which of the crystals or the artwork on the cards, keywords, whichever one is drawing you in intuitively the most. Like I said, if you want to choose more than one pile, that is perfectly okay. Timestamps will be down below, and I will see you guys at your reading. Hi pile 1, so those of you that resonate with the rock bottom and the Carnelian, this is going to be a reading. So I'm going to add in some additional cards just to get some more messages, and I am feeling called to kind of start with oracle cards and then adding in the tarot last. So let's do that today. And for those of you that want to know what tarot oracle decks I'm using, I always list them in the description box for you guys. So what do you need to release in order for you to feel more fulfilled? Okay, so we have the Wounded Healer, and it says wisdom from experience, humanity, and care. And I'm seeing that with number 69. Let's see, what else? What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? It makes me feel like with the Wounded Healer being here and rock bottom that you guys have gone through a lot. You guys have gone through a lot. And then we have, look at that, sound healing. It says healing tones, self-expression, and music. So it may be, because with rock bottom also being number 10, this is like the completion of some type of cycle in which maybe you're still holding on to a lot of pain or energetic weight that you're carrying from the past. So when we're asking here, what do you need to release in order for you to feel more fulfilled? There's clearly a message about healing here. A need for you to express or release, right? What you're carrying in order for you to feel relieved of it, to clear this energy. So I feel like with the sound healing here, you know, no matter what method of sound you use, whether that is using instruments or your voice, those of you that like to do light language, or even listening to music, maybe something that is helpful for you to be able to release a lot of that. And I like this because in this card here, we're seeing this window that is bringing in all of this light, you know, all of this light that's here. And I'm noticing there's also a skeleton here on the floor, which to me is like, we're thinking about past stuff that you're healing and clearing here to let the light in, right? On those darkest parts of self. Let's see here. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? We have round and round, scatteredness, aimlessness, and repetition. So this may even be, especially with this being number 5, the number 5 is about changes. It can also be about conflict and challenges, but the round and round aspect of it kind of makes me feel that you could be kind of keeping yourself in a karmic cycle or even a karmic pattern of behavior, a way of thinking that you're meant to clear here. And I feel like it is because of past energy that you could still be holding on to. Let's pull one more. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? And we have 1111. It says opportunity, timeliness, and pay attention. Okay, pay attention. So it makes me feel like Spirit is trying to help you to get yourself out of maybe a cycle of maybe that you've been in, right? Especially if you have been at that place where you have hit rock bottom in your past, and it's been difficult for you to kind of like pick yourself back up again. You know, for some of you, it's kind of like if you're always someone who always cares and feels like I need to heal this person or I need to fix this person, that your energy is kind of like directed towards others. Maybe this is time for you to start focusing on the self-healing, you know, so that you can work on releasing your own stuff versus worrying about another person or a family member or a friend or a romantic partner. And it's kind of like helping yourself kind of in a way to get out of like the rut or out of, you know, to take advantage of opportunities. So let's see what else. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? What does pile 1 need to release so they can feel more fulfilled? We have disguise. And I'm noticing how this person here, they look like they're wearing, it almost looks like a bear suit. Like this person has disguised themselves as a bear to catch this fish. And the disguise to me is almost like, it almost kind of makes me feel like the rock bottom, the wounded healer here, that some of you, what do I want to say with this? Like some of you that have gone through so much have taken on certain forms of protecting yourself. Certain layers that you've kind of like surrounded your, certain protective layers that you've put around yourself in order for you to protect you. And I feel like now, instead of keeping yourself disguised, right? I'm looking at this as your authentic self, that now is time for you to take the disguise off and reveal your authentic self. So I'm looking at this bear suit as all of those parts of yourself that you had to become in order for you to be able to face everything that you've gone through. And what I mean by that, just so you kind of understand, is let's just say that you are betrayed by somebody, okay? You're betrayed. And so after you go through that betrayal, whether it's a friend, a romantic partner, a family member, you become someone who is extremely guarded. Extremely guarded. And that becomes part of your little bear suit of protection there, right? And then you go through another situation where you were abused. And it's mentally, it's verbally. And you get to the point where you have developed your own method of protecting yourself in a way that you could lash out at people. And that a lot of that could be misdirected anger that you have towards someone else, but it's this new part of you that has been added on, which is not your authentic self, but it's a part of your personality that has adapted to the trauma that you've gone through, right? So you get to the point so much so that you've lost your authentic self because it has been kind of molded by everything that you've gone through. All this weight, right, that you've been carrying, basically, where you lose sight of who you really are at your core. Because before all of the traumas, right, before all the things that you've gone through, you were this sweet soul. We'll just think about it that way. You're this sweet soul that is creative, that is loving, that is kind, that is generous. And you could even be someone who people have taken advantage of. And so because of that, you stop being nice. You stop being kind. And you start being very different with people, right? Because you've set boundaries. And so sometimes, to me, it's kind of like you've created this whole false self as a way to protect yourself because of the things that you've gone through. So of what you need to release now in order for you to feel more fulfillment is all those parts of yourself that are not authentically you. Take off the disguise. You don't have to protect yourself in this way anymore, or hold on to, that bitterness that you hold on to because of a person who did something to you like 5 years ago. Or you don't need to hold on to that part of yourself that became angry and lashes out at people because that threat is no longer in your life anymore. Right? You don't need it anymore. It's time to, in a way, kind of lighten and release, I feel like, right? The disguise that you're keeping. So that's just kind of what I'm getting from this as far as releasing. And I'm seeing the underworld here at the bottom. So with the underworld, this is delving into the shadow. Okay? And it almost kind of like I was saying earlier here, it's like you're finding the light right within, through the darkness, the underworld, your shadow, to find the light within inside of yourself again. So maybe taking time to do some shadow work, to release certain things that you're holding on to, which of course this is a general reading. It could be so many different things, but like I said, looking at the rock bottom and the wounded healer and the disguise, that big bear suit this guy's wearing, it's like you are underneath all of that, but you may have had to, like I said, protect yourself because of certain things that you've gone through. And now it's like you've lost sight of who you really are at your core because of needing to be a certain way, because of certain people that you've had in your life, whether it's a parent or a sibling or a best friend or a not so good friend, it's like you've had to wear this disguise. But maybe this is a need for you to kind of delve into your shadow. I'm seeing anguish here as well, which is a lot of anxiety, fears, worrying, stressing. Maybe this is kind of looking into the root of your anxiety or the root of fears or worries that you might have. One of these was talking about scatteredness, right? Yeah, scatteredness. Which means basically like the energy is all over the place, right? You could feel very ungrounded. Okay, so let's look at the tarot now and see what is coming through. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? Wow, that was fast. The Four of Swords, which is the need for rest. A need for maybe removing things out of your life that provide distraction. Because this is you spending some time in quiet meditation, reflection, resting, healing. Okay? What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? The Lovers. The Magician. And we have the Two of Swords. Yeah, and the Two of Swords can really kind of put us in a place where we feel confused, we feel stuck, we feel indecisive. Some of you, it can even be certain injustices that were done against you, right, by other people. Things that you've been in denial about, things that you haven't faced, things that you need to release, right? And I feel like all of this is really helping you to kind of restore the power that you have within inside of yourself, to reclaim your power, the willpower, the focus on your heart, your own feelings, your own emotions. Some of you can even be healing from a connection, right? That really kind of made you hit rock bottom, potentially for some of you. A connection that may have really thrown you off, okay? Maybe something there as well. So I want to clarify a little bit. Why is the Four of Swords here? The Eight of Cups, okay? The Eight of Cups is about detachment or withdrawing from something or someone that no longer serves a purpose, a situation, a way of thinking, a vice, an addiction that we have, okay? In order for us to heal, to be in a place of recovering, okay? Why is the Lovers here? The King of Cups in reverse. So this is basically Spirit saying here, I mean, this could be a family member. It could also be a loved one, a romantic partner. This is Spirit saying here, there are some feelings and emotions, potentially from a water sign. Doesn't have to be though. Gemini, or even a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. Maybe. That you have suppressed feelings over. It could even be a parent, okay? Could be a father figure. But the King of Cups energy in reverse is basically talking about emotional blockages, suppressed feelings and emotions that need to be brought to the surface for you to heal. So it's something having to do with your heart space. Okay? Some type of wound that is creating a blockage here. So basically Spirit is saying here that you're holding on to this energy here. And it could be something that is blocking out your creativity, your intuition. I mean, you could have even had an event in your life where you did hit rock bottom, you know, and that being something that you're holding on to here is that feeling of being rock bottom. You know, maybe even for some of you because of a love situation or even relationship, which can be pretty painful. But yeah, to me, this is about something that is being suppressed here. Why is the Magician here? We have the Empress. Yeah. So this is about help. Some of you, it could be a mother wound. Okay, could be a mother wound. But there is a need for nurturing the self, a need for self-love, a need for healing, a need for some of you reparenting. Okay. Why is the Two of Swords here? And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, so it's kind of like Spirit saying here, you've been stuck in this cycle here of maybe feeling confused or not understanding maybe a past situation. Some of you, it could be love, like I said. And there's a need for detaching, maybe from a person from the past or a situation from the past. Enough for you to kind of reclaim your power and feel more grounded. which of course when you're in that space is going to make you feel more fulfilled and happy because you feel more emotionally balanced, right? You're open and receptive to receiving new love or to your creative energy or to your intuition. So again, like I said, Spirit is recommending sound healing for you, no matter how you choose, right? We've got instruments here. Like I said, you could play music and do sound healing that way. There's sound bowls. Those of you that do light language, if you don't know light language, I would encourage you to learn, discover your own unique light language or star language. That can be something that is very healing for you as well. And it also helps you connect into your higher self, other light beings, which is truly beautiful and unique to you. And that can also be something that brings about a lot of healing, a lot of clearing, and it's free, right? You don't have to go out and buy an instrument, or sometimes sound bowls can be pretty expensive. But yeah, that can be something that's really healing here. So what I would like to do, so yeah, basically, what do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? This is basically Spirit saying here. There's some blocked feelings and emotions. Let's actually clarify that a little bit. Why is the King of Cups in reverse? The Tower, which is basically releasing. There's a need for emotional release, means a good cry, releasing emotions that you hold on to. It doesn't just have to be feelings of grief or sadness. It could be anger. It could be resentment. Okay? The important thing is that you're releasing these feelings and these emotions so that you can find balance within inside of yourself again. Why is the King of Cups in reverse? Yeah, so emotional release. The Chariot. This is going to be, for some of you, it's having the willpower to talk about or to express certain feelings and emotions that you have from the past. It's not easy, right? Especially when you're kind of delving into this energy of the underworld, right? You're going into all of these shadow, dark aspects of the self to uncover those deep, subconscious, suppressed feelings and emotions that are there. And some of those things may have been things that we haven't visited, in a sense, in a long time. Right? These can be things that you don't remember, or that were so painful that you kind of put them out of your mind, right? To lessen the pain of things that you've gone through. But the Chariot is something that really helps you to have the willpower to face those things and to create progress with being able to move ahead towards situations that bring about more balance and success for you and happiness by being able to face them, to focus your intention on healing, on releasing. Why is the King of Cups in reverse? And the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, and it even looks like this little guy here, he's sitting out under the moonlight, meditating. You know, the Nine of Pentacles is also a very grounded energy. It's also about independence, abundance, wealth, stability, security. Okay, maybe some of these things, with releasing these things emotionally, they are going to help you to feel a lot more grounded. Okay, so let's get some additional messages for you to close your reading out, pile. Number 1, we've got focused intention. And it says, keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. Okay? So what do you need to release to feel more fulfilled? We have shower of abundance, and it says to heal your financial situation, first give us your worries concerning money. We will guide you in order to show you how to create and accept abundance. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you'll allow. Okay? Because I feel like some of you, with the blocks that you might have within your heart chakra, okay, these can be things that can definitely block out abundance, right? Your worthiness to abundance. I will say that too, because you have the Empress here. Worthiness to love, worthiness to abundance, right? All the things that can bring about happiness. We have don't back down, and it says stand up for what you believe is right, okay? And I feel like being that we're asking our question today, like what do you need to release? Maybe for some of you, a need for releasing guilt over having to stand up for yourself, you know, in past situations. Like let the guilt go. You know, if you had to have to tell somebody something, and it may not be easy news to hear, but it's like forgiving yourself for having to maybe hurt somebody else's feelings, right? Or even for those times when you were not able to stand up for yourself. You know, forgive yourself, forgive others, and forgive yourself for who you've had to become for some of you, right? The person that you've had to become to get past what you've gone through, right? And now it's time for many of you to let that self that has been created over the course of your life to handle and go through these things. Now it's time for you to let it go, right? And become and reveal your true self, your authentic self. We have ask here, and it says, ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request, okay? And this, I'm kind of seeing this as just a message from your spirit guides to let you know they are always there to help you. Okay, if there is something in particular that you are trying to heal from, trying to release, trying to move on from so that you can feel more fulfilled, do not be afraid to ask your spirit team. Okay, to know that they are there to support you and to be open to receiving the messages from them or to go along with the changes that might be happening, especially if you're asking for their assistance, right? That could include some challenging work, some uncomfortable situations that are ultimately going to lead you to a better place, but getting there might be a little tricky, right? Especially if we're telling spirit that we want to have love or fulfillment and happiness, but we're in a situation that is not serving us, right? If we're asking for spirit's help, we better expect that there might be some upheaval in our life, temporary discomfort, right? In order for us to get to ultimately where we're meant to be. And it's about us kind of going with the flow of that. Okay? So that is all that I have for you, pile number 1. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 2. So those of you that resonate with these storm fields, this is going to be your reading. So our question today is, what do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? And looking at this, it looks like a tornado, right? That's happening here in this card. But this does remind me a lot of the Tower. Okay, and it looks like this tower is, or this tornado is ready to kind of come right for this house that's here. And the Tower energy is something that can create a lot of upheaval in our life to help us release or break certain things down, whether those be beliefs or even to remove us out of certain situations that are creating chaotic, unbalanced, ungrounded, unstable energy within our life. Okay, so as far as what do you need to release, there could be many things, right, that you need to release here. One of them, just kind of looking at this card, is basically saying, is there any type of situation in your life right now that is causing more destruction, more chaos, more harm than good for you in your life, whether that be a friendship, a job, a relationship, a family situation, right? It's kind of like letting go of the chaos, distancing yourself, releasing yourself from anyone or anything, right? Even if it is our own self-destructive types of behaviors that we might have that are kind of wreaking havoc. If we're a person who self-sabotages, right? We can start to try to understand where that energy is coming from. So with that being said, we're going to start off actually with some oracle messages, and then we're going to pull the tarot last. So let's pull these first. And we'll see pile number 2. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? What does pile 2 need to release? It says time to fly south, travel, vacation, getting away for a while. Okay? Time to fly south. Maybe this is, you know, even if your choice isn't to fly south, basically the message here is get away, get away, right? Take some time for you, removing yourself from, like I said, the storm, whatever that storm represents in your life, okay? Let's see. Maybe something that's causing stress, right? What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? We have the dining table, and it says a date, a social gathering, and nourishment. This almost makes me feel like, because we have this storm here, and Spirit's saying basically kind of get away, remove yourself from this situation. We have the dining table here with a date, a social gathering for nourishment. So maybe this is Spirit saying here that you need to, also these are number 9s here, right? Maybe this is nearing a completion of a cycle here. But some of you, I'm getting, there's a need for isolation, okay? But with the social gathering, I mean, some of you, it could be a need to remove yourself out of a social situation or out of somebody maybe that you're dating or certain friend group, okay? Maybe they're not giving you the nourishment that you need. We can look at it that way. For others of you, there could be a need for getting away and maybe spending time with different people, right? Different friends, people who actually give back to you energetically versus take away. So let's see here. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? We have pick up your sword, and it says take a stand, be heard, and support a cause. Okay. Let's see, what else? No, actually, I need to go into this one over here. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? Reincarnation. This almost makes me feel, and I'm seeing water at the bottom. This almost makes me feel like there's some type of situation that keeps recurring in your life, a cycle. Something that could either be very confusing for you, very challenging for you, bringing about a lot of conflict. It's something that you might be having a difficult finding your way out of, a difficult time finding your way out of. You know, you might even be somebody who you kind of feel like no matter what you try to do, you're always being met with resistance. You're always being met with challenge, chaos, things of that nature. And it's almost like Spirit saying here, something needs to be cleared with this water. We need stillness here. So maybe it's a period of time for reflection for you about what needs to be cleared, what needs to be let go of here. Right? But I'm kind of having a feeling that maybe as you're in it, right, in this storm energy, you're not able to see it. And there's the need here with the pick up your sword, take a stand, be heard, and support a cause. That cause is your own, right? It's like you being supportive of yourself, you standing up for yourself. I'm also noticing there's 3 swords that are here. So some of you, it could be maybe a painful situation. Maybe it's a love situation that is creating this chaotic energy in your life. Maybe there's something that you're meant to heal. Okay. To me, this kind of gives like the past life type of vibe here too. Like something that you've kind of tried to clear or even heal in your past life. So let's see, what is the tarot say? What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? What does Pile 2 need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? We've got the 5 of Swords. Okay. So this more or less looks like, could be a couple different things, but the 5 of Swords is a victim mentality. Okay. It can also be feeling of revenge that we have, where we might even find ourselves in conflict or chaos with another person. This can also be a lot of self-limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, self-sabotaging thoughts. So there's something about your actions, maybe even your communication with others, that is bringing about a lot of conflict in your life. And with the Hierophant here, then the Hierophant is a need for us to take a look at what our current beliefs are, because our beliefs can also be something that really challenge us, right? So we can be creating these storms in our life all by ourselves, right? Or it could be something external to us in our environment. So it's a need for taking a look at the beliefs to see if they are still something that are serving us, or are they something that is hindering and blocking us and creating or wreaking havoc in some way in our life. And I'm seeing the Moon, and we also have the Queen of Cups. Okay, so this can be pent up feelings, emotions that are suppressed with the Moon energy here. This can be something that leads to a lot of confusion, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of doubt within your mind. So to me, I'm also noticing in this Queen of Cups energy here, we have this salmon, and in the background there is this waterfall. And to me, this kind of looks like emotional release here. Okay. So it kind of feels like with the Moon energy being here, that there are certain maybe fears or anxieties or even suppressed feelings and emotions that are affecting your beliefs here. Okay. And those beliefs, right, can create the chaos, the storm. So let's clarify this Moon energy. Okay, your fears and insecurities can also be something. Yeah, there's a cycle here with the Wheel of Fortune, because we're asking, what do you need to release, right? The Moon can hold doubts, fears, insecurities, can create illusion in our mind, clouded judgment, confusion, not seeing things clearly. So this is basically Spirit saying here with the Wheel of Fortune that you may have been stuck in this cycle of keeping yourself, let's just say, in fear, and that fear being something that is blocking out you being able to live or even create and manifest a life that is fulfilling. Because the 5 of Swords here brings about self-sabotage or getting yourself or keeping yourself in situations that are not good for you, right? Because the 5 of Swords is kind of like a lose-lose situation, a no-win situation. Can be very, very frustrating, right? We have the Hierophant. Why is the Hierophant here? We have the Chariot, which is the Archer in this stack. Why is the 5 of Swords here? The Knight of Wands. Some of you could be dealing with the fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It could be a love situation, like I said, for some of you. A person who's non-committal. A person who's just kind of like, you know, creating a lot of chaotic energy for you. For those of you where this is not tied to love situation, this self-sabotaging energy is something that is affecting your creativity, the drive, the fire within you, right? And ultimately, you're meant to be able to kind of find freedom from your beliefs, from your insecurities, from your fears, and get out of that cycle, right? So facing your fears and working towards releasing them can also be something that does help you to bring about fulfillment, happiness, right? To me, also, the pick up the sword is that you are kind of facing your own truth and about you, kind of like taking different actions, making different choices, decisions from a place of clarity versus the clouded energy that can come along with the moon. Right? Okay, let's see what else. Why is the Queen of Cups here? The Queen of Wands. I feel like this is going to be something that helps to restore your power, your balance, your intuition, your openness and receptivity to creating something new, I feel like, within your life as well. Okay. Some of you, quite literally, it's a need for you to speak up or stand up for yourself, maybe with someone, right? To remove that person out of your life if they are bringing in nothing but drama, nothing but chaos. You know, the first message here is basically Spirit saying, remove yourself either from a way of thinking or a situation, an environment, right? Because the Five of Swords can also be when we are a victim to someone's mistreatment, someone's being cruel to us, their words, their actions, you know, different types of abusive type of situations with the person, you know, removing yourself out of that. I mean, it could be a toxic work environment. You can have toxic coworkers, you know, a toxic boss, in a relationship with someone who's like that, just negative, just pessimistic, right? Who's kind of just like not helping you to feel happy or fulfilled, or kind of like sucking the life out of you, right? This is time for you to face maybe those fears about some changes here, because the Wheel of Fortune is also about a turning point in our life and a change, a time of change, right? This is about us going with the flow with those changes, okay? So let's pull some other additional oracle messages to close out your reading. So what do you need to release in order for you to feel more fulfilled? Lack of confidence would also be one thing. Okay, so we have new partner here. And it says, a chance meeting is no mistake. It is divinely orchestrated as a catalyst to set the wheels in motion for the fruition of your prayers. Pay careful attention to new people we send into your life. You will recognize them by your sense of familiarity, comfort, and safety. So some of you, Spirit is bringing in someone new into your life, okay? And it's something that is being divinely guided to you. Something that you've asked for, right? We have forgive here, and it says it's time to let go of anger or blame, right? That can also be something, if you're holding on to it, can be blocking out the amount of happiness that you have. We also have best friends here, and it says true friends stick together no matter what. So maybe for some of you, it can also be evaluating, right? Friendships that you need to let go of. Is the person really your best friend? Or not? And if they're not, this would be a time to also work towards letting those go. Anything, right, that is not really the best for you would be something to release, so that you can feel happier with your life, that you know that everything that is in your life is something or someone who makes you feel happy, who makes you feel fulfilled, not just some of the time, right? But pretty much, I mean, of course, you know, you can have situations with people who, you know, things are not always great all the time, but it's kind of like not keeping yourself stuck in a situation where things are just always unpleasant, right? And you feel more drained and exhausted and things of that nature from the situation more than there's benefit to it for yourself. Okay? We have hello and goodbye, and it says you'll soon see that this change will make things better. So some of you could be saying hello to someone new, goodbye to someone else. Okay, hello and goodbye. And it says one step at a time. Lots of little steps make big dreams come true. Okay, so I would also say be patient, right, with the changes that are taking place within your life. We also have ground yourself, and it says when you detach from awareness of your body and the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float heavenward, your attention and work are needed upon the earth. We're helping you balance the spiritual and material so that you can enjoy a fulfilling earthly life. Okay? So it's important for you to stay grounded, especially if you are someone who is kind of lost in la la land sometimes, you know, about a person or a situation, and there's a need for you to remember to keep yourself grounded. Okay, so that is all that I have for you, pile number 2. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 3. So those of you that resonated with the Golden Palace, this is going to be your reading. So what do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? And I don't have the guidebook for this deck right now because all my stuff is basically packed up. But from what I remember, or at least what I'm feeling intuitively, I'll just say that, I'm noticing that there's this beautiful palace back here. But there is also this overgrowth of all of this like bush or trees that are kind of covering up the palace. So you can't even really see the full extent of its beauty because it's been covered up by this overgrowth of this tree or plant that's here. So it makes me feel, as far as what our question is today, is what do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? Is that whatever you can think of symbolically as something that has kind of overtaken your life in a sense, whether that be a way of thinking, a way of doing, a specific person, a situation, maybe even like a job, let's just say, that consumes all of your time, you know, all of your energy, so that at the end of the day, there's nothing left for you. It makes me feel like you're removing things that have kind of come into your life by choice or by, you know, invasion of some kind, another person, you know, of letting those things kind of infiltrate into your energy, into your space. That this is a time for you literally to kind of tend to your own garden, your own nurturing, to kind of uncover the beauty of you again, in a sense, so that you can see, you know, in a different way. So we'll just kind of see what comes through with the tarot, but that's just kind of what I'm getting from this intuitively. Actually, we're not going to start with tarot. We're going to start with the oracle first, and then we'll do the tarot last. So let's see, pile number 3. You know, so you might think, like, what have I allowed in my life to kind of overtake? Is it fear? Is it insecurities? Is it a person? Is it a job? You know? Let's see. So what does pile number 3 need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? We have remnants of Atlantis, and it says the past, resurfacing, past lives and karma. Okay, past lives and karma is what you need to release. This makes me feel like, looking at this palace here, like this palace is symbolic of you in this present life, but the karma from your past or even your past lives is something that is kind of invading into your current lifetime, you know? So I want to say there's a need for you to take care of that, pile 3, but it's like you need to maybe take some time, like I said, to really tend to your garden. What is here that is no longer necessary, is no longer needed? You know, karma is about lessons that we're meant to learn. So there's something here maybe, and I've noticed that with this reading today, there's been kind of like this common theme across all the piles of allowing something into your life that, you know, of course, because we're asking what do we need to release here, but let's see what else. Yeah, the past resurfacing, right? Maybe energy that you're still holding on to in the present that's from your past that, you know, doesn't allow you to be fully present in this lifetime because you're focused on past stuff, you know? What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? We have pleasant distraction, amusement, entertainment, and captivation, which makes me feel that some of you are being distracted by other people, other situations, away from maybe even work that you need to do within inside of yourself, right? You could be distracting yourself with other things in your life aside from, and here you are, right? You're letting your garden overgrow in front of your palace. Energy is distracted elsewhere. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? We have Forest of Fire, and it says passion, aliveness, and flashes of inspiration. Release your passion, right? Release your creative energy. So you can feel more fulfilled, because once you release, right, the creative energy that you have, the passion, you're able to manifest and create something that does make you feel happy, right? Let's see. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? Pile number 3. Reincarnation. Another pile got this as well. This is past. Past lives, karma, reincarnation. So it's kind of like you're holding on to stuff from your past lives or karma. And I'm seeing potential at the bottom, right? So there's something here, and I may want to kind of look into this a little bit, but there's something from your past lives that you're holding on to energetically that you have not cleared. And that is something that is blocking out you from seeing the potential, right? Look at the potential of this palace. Once we kind of clear the garden, right? Clear away all the overgrowth, we can see the real you, right? You being the palace. You can see the beauty that lies within you, your potential that's being overshadowed by the karma that has not been cleared yet. Okay? That is where you start to uncover this, right? Instead of just distracting yourself with other things, okay? Instead of yourself. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. Okay, so let's look at the tarot. And then we will clarify the karma for some of you and see what it is. Some of you might already know, right? Well, exactly what it is that you have to release. Maybe some type of karmic cycle you've kept yourself in. So what does pile number 3 need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? The High Priestess in reverse. Okay. To me, this is about you not trusting yourself. Being that this is also coming in right underneath this past lives and karma, the High Priestess represents the Akashic records. She represents the access into the knowledge and secret wisdom that we hold from our past lives. So it's kind of like if you keep repeating karmic cycles over and over and over again, you're meant to access this knowledge of what you experienced and to learn from that, because ultimately that's what karma is. It's lessons, right? So how can we learn from our past, even if we can't remember our past lives, that's okay. What can we learn from our past? What has it taught us from making certain choices, right? Especially if the choices that we make are not ultimately leading us to living a life that is fulfilling, we can learn that some of the choices that we make could have been better, right? They could have been better. They may have led us to some unfavorable situations in certain situations, but we can learn from that, right? Don't repeat the same mistakes. Don't do the same thing over and over again, expecting the results to be different, right? So one of the big things here with the High Priestess in reverse is when we are seeking guidance outside of ourselves. That would be one thing. This is also not trusting ourselves, not trusting our own intuition. It is also when we are seeking advice from other people. We're asking other people's opinions about what should I do? What do you think about this? Or what do you think if I should do with that? And it's a need for us to just kind of withdraw from other people right? Other things that are distractions in our life, and to really just kind of go with inside of us. The answers are there, right? The high priestess is the energy that we have access to within all of us. It is all of our collective energy, right? Into source energy, into your higher self, into your spirit team, into universal consciousness. So, let's see what else. What do you need to release in order to feel more fulfilled? Maybe there's a need for you to learn how to trust your intuition more, right? The Empress. And the Ten of Swords. I think I just saw Judgment too. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so we've got the karma here. The world is about the end of a cycle. Okay, the completion of a cycle. Notice how this kind of looks the same here. This makes me kind of feel like in some way there's something generational. Like some type of generational trauma or something. We've got the Hangman and the Nine of Wands. I'm seeing that there's a lot of resilience that you have with everything that you have gone through. But there's also a need for changing or shifting perspective here. Changing perspective. There's a need for self-love. There's a need for healing the feminine energy. Okay? Some of you, this karmic energy can be surrounding the feminine within you, from you seeing your truest potential to be able to accomplish. We've got accomplishment here, right? Holding on to this or not learning, right? Certain karmic lessons here are what is blocking you from achieving or even seeing within yourself. Hey, I can do this. I can create this. I can manifest this. I can follow and pursue my passions, my dreams, and create a beautiful reality here. Many of you with the Ten of Swords energy here are holding on to a lot of pain. Okay, a lot of pain, loss that you might have experienced. So I want to see what the past life energy is here. What is this past lives and karma here, Spirit? The Tower. It's like holding on to this energy here is something that is creating a lot of unstable energy within you, chaotic energy into your life. The Tower is a need for us to release, to let go. Why is the past lives and karma here? The Page of Cups in reverse. For some of you, this is blocking out your intuition, your spiritual gifts. There's a wounded inner child here. Okay. So some of you, this can be a lot of painful memories from childhood for some of you. An inner child that wants to speak, that needs a voice, that needs a form of expressing themselves. Okay. I feel like being that the Page of Cups is also in reverse, this can also be talking about a lot of suppressed feelings and emotions that you might even have from past lives, right? So the only way that we can be able to work through those things, especially if we don't know exactly what they are, we can spend time in meditation, right? Connecting with our spirit guides, building a relationship with them. We can also work on self-love, okay? A need for self-love, being that you have the feminine energy here, and we're asking, what do you need to release in order for you to feel more fulfilled? There's a lot of pain here that has to be healed. It has to be released. And it makes me feel like you're not seeing maybe your own worth, your own value. It could be feeling of disempowered feminine energy, that the feminine energy is stuck in a karmic energy. And there's a need for self-love, healing, nurturing, healing the inner child is kind of what I'm seeing here. So let's see what else. What is this karma and past life, Spirit? It can also be creating a lot of emotional blockages for you, right? It's something that's keeping you from your power here. Keeping you from your power. What is this distraction? The Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Some of you have been maybe even distracting yourself from your own healing, or have been distracted by certain love situations. Or even feeling overly concerned about love and finding love and wanting love. And, you know, I want to be loved. I want to feel loved. I want to find someone who loves me. But it's like Spirit saying, hold on a second. Do you love you? Do you love you, right? You're distracting yourself here from your own healing that needs to be done. And maybe even the anxiety over finding someone new, future love, right? But it's a need for us to just kind of stop and understand that we have to give ourselves, right? Again, we've got potential here and the Golden Palace, right? So like I said, to me, this is kind of like symbolic of you letting things overgrow and are covering up what, because either they've been ignored, you could have been ignoring certain things that you need to heal with inside of yourself, right? Lost parts of the self underneath all of this. So as we start to clear it away, you're like, aha, there's my confidence. There's my intuition. There's my self-worth. There's love for myself. Right? So yeah, this makes me feel like there has been a lot of maybe some very painful situations that you've gone through. But these things have also distracted you away from the work that needed to be done within the self to restore your power, your confidence. There's a need for you to focus on healing and releasing stuff that you're holding on to. Okay. Let's see. What is this energy of reincarnation here? The Two of Swords. Yeah, it's like Spirit saying here that there's something that you are in denial about, something that you have not faced, and you may continue to reincarnate with unbalanced, I'm saying, because I'm seeing injustice here, and we have karma. So it makes me feel that in this lifetime, you could be kind of blinded to it. You may not see it, or you could be choosing not to acknowledge something within inside of you. It could be your own behaviors. It could be, you know, a need for taking a good look at the self, right? What is it about my patterns of behavior? Or what is it about certain cycles that I get myself stuck in where I limit myself and my own growth and my own potential from within because I'm too distracted by other things to actually focus on working on myself to get myself out of this karmic energy. The Two of Swords can be when we're in denial. We're keeping ourselves willfully blind to something, right? And that can create a lot of stagnancy in our life. And of course, when we feel stagnant and stuck and in pain and, oh, I've already gone through all of these things, and we don't see the potential that lives within ourselves because our energy is distracted elsewhere, it's like, are we ever really happy? Do we ever really feel fulfilled in our life? Because we keep ourselves stuck in this cycle of not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy enough, not feeling confident enough, not trusting ourselves, pain that we're holding on to, right? So it does require a shift of perspective, right? And that may be shifting the perspective back to yourself, or even taking a step back to look at what choices have I made that have led me to experience these certain things in my life? How can I change that? How can I become a better version of self? By tending to your own garden, pulling back your power, pulling back your energy, Let's look what else. What is this Two of Swords, Spirit? Four of Swords. There's a need for reflection, a need for rest, a need for healing, a need for facing and listening to our inner soul's truth with the Two of Swords, which is connected into the High Priestess. It's stillness. Why is the Two of Swords here? It's a need for being still to receive the clarity. So we understand the information, right? You receive the downloads. In order for you to find your power, I'm seeing strength at the bottom. The woodward in this deck, strength. It's your power, right? So if with the Queen of Wands energy here, if something that we need to release, maybe this is the releasing self-sabotage, lack of confidence. I will say, because the shadow aspect of the Queen of Wands, she can be a little mean. She can be a little aggressive. She can be rude. She can be spiteful towards other people. She can be like a temper problem. She could lash out at people. Right? And if you've been that person in your past or even your past life, right? This is you learning how to have better control over yourself, your own feelings, your own emotions, your own temperament, right? The Strength card, things are reversed in this deck. So some of you are looking at 11 and you're like, huh? Sometimes the Strength card and the Justice card are reversed in some decks. So in this card, number 11 is the Strength card. But this is more or less about us having control over the ego, self-control, right? Versus allowing the ego to completely derail us in our life and kind of, instead of listening to intuition, right? This is where we begin to have more self-control. We begin to act from a place of patience, gentleness, kindness. And maybe for some of you in your past lives, you weren't so kind. You weren't so nice, you know? Who knows? But like I said, the shadow of that Queen of Wands, she can be a little mean. You know, she can sabotage herself. Maybe some of you have a past of sabotaging yourself, right? Or having low self-esteem, low confidence in yourself, right? This is basically you learning how to step into your power, own your power, right? The Queen of Wands is definitely very creative, and many of you have an amazing creative potential. And a lot of this is about you releasing all these fears and worries and insecurities and things of your past and past lives of never living up to your full potential. And that might even be something that you're continuing to do in this lifetime, is not reach your fullest potential, you know, by your own limitations that you place on yourself. So there's a need for, when I'm looking at this Golden Palace, about you uncovering your true self and feeling confident enough and in your power enough to explore, to discover, to get that fire lit within you, to see just how much potential you really have. Imagine, pile number 3, what you could become, who you could become in this lifetime, which is within your control here, right? But it's about you stepping into that role of learning to trust your intuition, believing in yourself and your abilities, you know, nurturing this creative energy, honoring intuition, working on whatever it is that needs to be healed instead of distracting yourself away from what needs to be healed within you, what needs to be released, right? What patterns of behaviors have I been holding on to karmically that I've not been wanting to face, that I've not been wanting to see within inside of myself? Because facing our shadow is not easy. It's not easy, right? Admitting that we are someone who could be a certain way or have a certain personality trait that is negative. It's not easy to say, okay, yes, I am this way, right? It's a lot of us learning how to just kind of like, you know, just understand, okay, yes, I can be this way or I can be that way. Our shadow aspect of ourself is never going to go away, but we can learn how to better control it, not suppress it, but we can learn how to better manage feelings, emotions that we feel, to the point where we are in control instead of allowing them to be in control of us. Okay? Is what I'm getting there from that. Okay, so let's close out your reading, pile number 3, and see if there's any last messages. There they go. We've got Bright Future with Lakshmi, and it says, stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. We also have Teamwork here, and it says, work with others to make this situation come about. And we also have Curiosity here, and it says, start a project related to something you're curious about, right? And just kind of like delve into it. Let's see what else. And we have Mary Magdalene with Unconditional Love. And it says, love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. Right? Because even if there's somebody in our life that is not so pleasant or hasn't treated us right in the past, we can still hold unconditional love for that person, for that soul. And that may take some time, right? Especially if that person has really hurt us. Okay, but it is kind of also understanding that that person is on their own journey. They're doing their own thing. We've got our own thing going on, and we can sometimes love people from afar. Okay, but it really is a beautiful energy. The Empress is also unconditional love. Okay, so loving unconditionally yourself first and foremost, others, right? No matter what the situation might be, we can always choose to vibrate higher vibrational energy, higher frequency, right? Versus ones that you may have been kind of stuck in lower frequency energies from your past or even your past lives. Okay, so that is all that I have for you. Pile number 3. I hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one.